All right. What's up, everybody? Saigan Cat here, doing a often asked for Quester's Rest. So, how have I been lately? That's a hint. Some of you who have been watching the channel lately might have noticed that I've been a little bit stressed. Well, that's a combination of things. Work has been busy, and that's putting it pretty mildly. It's not awful. I still like my job. I still like the people that I work with, and I still like most of the people that I help. It's fine. At this stage in my life, I can't imagine working anywhere else or wanting to work anywhere else. I've even received praise lately from boss and coworkers. It's fine. The only complaint I have about work is that I'm feeling horribly overworked. But everybody's been very understanding of it. It's a really weird feeling given the other jobs that I've had, where they say, "You're doing a great job. Everybody's really busy right now. We understand that everyone's really frustrated. You're doing a great job." Like, is there more coming after that? I feel but coming on. No, but. You're just doing great. I wanted to let you know you're doing great. If a lot of you are probably like, bosses don't do that. Mine does, and it's kind of weird. So yeah, work is killing me, but they're all so happy I'm there and tell me so. So we'll call that one even, I guess. Perry is just a couple of weeks away from being done with school, period. This is her last semester, and then she graduates with a degree in computer science, and she's already got a job lined up, and they're awesome, and she really likes them, and she wants to work for them. And anyone here ever play a tank in an MMO? Have you ever been the last one standing when the final boss of a raid is at 1% health and your healer drops and it's just you and you're watching the numbers slowly chisel away and you're just like, God, I know I'm going to win. I just really need to win now. That's what my life feels like right now. Nothing is actually super awful. I'm just exhausted. And that's making me cranky, tired, frustrated. And it's silly things to be frustrated about, right? You know, growing up, when you complain about something, somebody will immediately be like, well, you know who's got it really bad? Somebody else. I don't have an example off the top of my head, but I can assure you, somebody is doing worse than me. So I shouldn't feel bad. But I do. And maybe that's selfish. I don't know. It probably is, but damn it, I'm going to be selfish right now because I feel like that's what I need. I've been selfishly playing Halo lately instead of working on Dragon Quest. I don't want to grind out the Wheel of Harma so I can lose to the Time Worm again in Dragon Quest XI right now. I don't feel like doing that at the moment. I didn't feel like trying to play Nier Automata over a weekend when I hadn't had a proper weekend in 3 weeks because we've been busy at work and working some of the weekends. You might notice that when I just kind of abruptly stop whatever I'm working on and play something completely unlike the channel, usually a shooter, it usually means that I'm feeling incredibly stressed out and I just got to work through it. So Dragon Quest isn't going anywhere. I still love the series. You're still going to get more DQ content. I'm burned out. And it's not even Dragon Quest's fault. I'm just burned out because I don't feel like I have the time to devote to Dragon Quest. Glare. I don't have the time to devote to Dragon Quest. I don't feel like I have the time to devote to my hobbies, and that's really frustrating because having a good hobby is something that's really important. I think that there's like a couple of pillars for mental health that everybody should be aware of. Diet. Our diets are pretty good. We are primarily vegetarian, vegan throughout the week, and then we have a day for enjoying a good cut of meat. You know, we're not settling on just having a really cheap, crappy piece of meat as the centerpiece of every meal. We enjoy a really high quality piece of meat on occasion, and it's fantastic. And the dietary benefits of this have been, in fact, I don't think I'd be able to handle how things are right now if not for our vastly improved diet. And I gotta say, lots of love to Perry for doing the research on that. So diet is really important. Eating a good diet is really important for your mental health. 2, exercise. Exercise is also really important for your mental health. I feel like I'm probably doing okay on that. I mean, I bike 4 miles a day. That's not much. Biking 4 miles is easy. And I probably wouldn't count it if it weren't for the fact that it is literally uphill both ways. So here's my house, okay? And then here's work, and it's roughly a mile apart. That is the road. So my first half of travel, either to work or to home, is really quick. And then the rest of it is uphill grind. So I count it. I stand at work and I get a lot of walking done usually. So I feel like I'm getting okay exercise. We used to go on long bike rides on Saturday and like really push ourselves, but it's been kind of cold lately, and we've just been doing chores, trying to catch up on things, or just laying around trying to not catch up on things. So that pillar is crumbling a little bit. It is not this rock hard, tall, girthy pillar that it was over the summer. It's crumbling a little bit. It's getting a little weak, but it's still there. Social time. Social time, I think, is another very important pillar of health. Haven't had much of that lately. That pillar is gone. And that's kind of a tricky one too, because Perry and I are both introverted. We're pretty introverted. One of my friends likes to refer to me as a closet extrovert, which might be appropriate. We like to see our friends. We like to spend time with them. And it's great. But after a really long, awful week, we don't want to. And it puts us in a complicated position because it's probably what we need, but we also just can't. So that pillar has suffered a bit. I'm trying to plan stuff, and it's not working out. Time for hobbies. Time for hobbies is another important pillar. That one has been suffering more and more and more. The afternoons and the evenings are just getting like chewed up. It's taking longer to get the kids in bed, and it's just harder to sit down and play something, especially when it's not like, what you want to play. So could I be working on grinding out the Wheel of Harma so I can die to the Time Worm again? I could make time for that, but it's not what I want to do. I want to shoot aliens in the face with my space lasers, so I've been playing Halo lately. I will get back to grinding out the Wheel of Harma so I can kick the Time Worm's teeth in. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I know I'll enjoy doing. It's just not something that I'm going to enjoy doing right now. One of my biggest disappointments right now is how little I'm able to work on the things that I want to work on. I really want to run another D&D game right now. I talked about it with a bunch of you guys over in the Discord, even set up a channel for it. We talked. I went over how we were going to run character creation, what kind of rules I run, the different way that I do XP, which I'm very proud of. I've run it a couple of times in the past. I didn't run it in the podcast version of BFRPG, but I've tweaked some things about it, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So yeah, I don't have time to work on the things that I want to work on, and that's frustrating. It used to be that even though, I was working and I'm a father to two children and, I'm fighting to be supportive of Perry, who's juggling work and school right now, that I could find time to kind of work on things from work. Because there were slow days. That was the thing that actually happened. There were times at work where I could sit there and be like, I have nothing to do right now. And now I'm like, I'm backed up from July. Stuff from July I haven't gotten to work on. So the bits of free time I had at work to like get some reading done. Oh, hi, Kona. I saw you sneak down here. What's up? What's up? Do you want to say hi to everybody? You want to hop up here? Come on, hop up here. Hello. No. Look over that way. Look over that way. So everyone can see you. No? All right, look around confused. That's fine, too. Go away. What was I talking about? Work. Not having time to do things at work. And that's a silly complaint, is like, I like reading, and work was a good time to get some reading done. And I just haven't been able to do that in a while. And I know work is for working. But if you can get some of your hobbies done while working, it's a bonus. And I haven't been able to do that lately. So I haven't gotten much reading done. I was about halfway through Starship Troopers by Robert Heinlein. I was enjoying it. Very different from the movie. Shared a lot of themes. Executed very differently. What else? Yeah, not being able to work on things. Projects I want to work on. My guide. I really want to go back to working on the Dragon Warrior guide. I might force in time for that before we get around to Time Worm. The joke is going to continue that I'd never finish post-game in Dragon Quest, but whatever. Doesn't hurt me at all to hear that. It doesn't. Probably more Halo. This is something that there's a lot of things that I'm just kind of holding out for Perry to be done with school before it can happen. I want to do a Halo series with Perry, which I'm going to affectionately call Kicking and Screaming, where I drag Perry through the entire Halo series in co-op. And I think that could be a lot of fun, because we have played through a lot of the Halos before, and it's always fun sitting down and playing a game with Perry. So that's a project I'd like to work on. I'd like to do D&D. I'd like to do a channel D&D. And I have ideas for it. And I'm really excited to work on it. Soon as I find time. What else? Dragon Quest. Death Stranding. Holy crap, I really want to play Death Stranding. I know that the reviews are just like all over the place, but I'll admit I'm a Kojima fan, and the people I know who are also fans of his work have had very positive things to say about the game. I won't let them say anything about the game. I'm just like, do you enjoy it? And they're like, I think so. I'll be like, that's it. Don't tell me anything else. But there's this thing with it. Shut up. I don't want to know anything beyond the incredibly confusing trailer that I saw like 2 years ago. I don't want to see it. What else? Shenmue 3 came in the mail for the PS4. So that's arrived. I still need to finish 1 and 2 again for the PS4. It's been ages since I played the original releases, so I'd like to, knock those out again. So now I have an entire trilogy that I need to worry about finishing. Cyberpunk 2077 comes out next year. Definitely making time for that. Unless, and this is what will kill me, if it releases anywhere within the same time frame as Phantasy Star Online 2. Which, guys, what I've been saying, like, you might see this become a Phantasy Star channel after Phantasy Star Online 2 comes out. I'm only half joking. The amount of time that I poured into Phantasy Star Online dwarfs almost every other game that I've played. There are a couple of possible exceptions. I may have possibly spent more time on WoW, and I may have possibly spent more time on Diablo. And that's about it. I cannot understate. You are breathing on me, Kona. I cannot understate how excited I am for Phantasy Star 2. It's... Do you ever see those old videos of Beatlemania with the preteen girls like scream crying in happiness at seeing the Beatles from across like a stadium? That was what I was doing when Phantasy Star Online 2 got announced at E3. that was my reaction. It started off like, huh? Huh? It was incredible. I am in terror at the face that I just made. That was horrible. I'm going to have to blur that out or something. That's going to keep somebody up at night. Wow. I am a monster. Christ. Anyhow, yeah, Phantasy Star Online 2. I am really excited about it. Like, if a Dragon Quest game comes out at the same time as Phantasy Star Online 2, I need you guys to know I will be covering Phantasy Star Online 2 instead. And I'm not sorry about it. Because between the two franchises, Phantasy Star is my favorite. And I've said this a few times. And people who look at my channel and my playlists and everything are going to be like, really? With that shrine right there? Phantasy Star? An interesting thing happened with Phantasy Star when I wasn't watching. So when I started the channel, Phantasy Star Online 2 had already been announced for the West. We'd gotten Phantasy Star Zero. We were getting the Phantasy Star portable games. Phantasy Star was in a good place. We were getting our releases. And then I started the channel and I was like, you know what? I want to do this about RPGs, JRPGs, because that's something that I really enjoy doing, and I don't feel that there's enough attention for them on YouTube at the time. And I said, well, I could do Final Fantasy, of which I'm a fan of many games in the series. I could do Dragon Quest, which I really like, and I recently have been playing Dragon Quest 9, and Dragon Quest 10 has been announced, and that's exciting stuff. I could do Phantasy Star, my favorite JRPG series. I could just play Phantasy Star Online. And I said, you know what, though? Of these three series, one of them doesn't get enough attention. And that was Dragon Quest. And something happened between then and now we live in the incredibly bizarre timeline where we get 4 Dragon Quest games released for the same system in one day. I don't know what's going on. So Phantasy Star Online 2, I'm going to give some love to. What else? Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. People keep asking me if I'm playing it. The answer is no. I'm sure it's a lovely game if you are newer to the series, but here's the thing. they made a lot of changes in the game that I'm not happy about. So I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to, you know, urge others to not buy it, but I will urge others to don't spend your money on something if you don't want it. I don't want Pokemon Sword and Shield. Um, they made a lot of bizarre development decisions, and they were dishonest about some of them, and I just don't want it. You know what I would like? I would like time to play more Cyrilium, which is a fantastic little indie monster RPG, where you breed a team of 6 monsters, but they all fight at the same time, and it's chaos. Or I'd really love to get a new Dragon Quest Monsters game. I would love a new Dragon Quest Monsters game. But I've been playing Pokemon since its inception. Almost literally. I first heard about Pokemon before the games got released in the West because of Duelist Magazine doing a spread about the brand new Pokemon trading card game that had just hit Japan. And my sisters and I took the time to write out cards and what they did based on card lists that we found online that were partially translated. And we made decks on slips of newspaper sheet. Now, newspaper sheet was just newspaper grade paper, incredibly cheap. It wasn't actually printed on, but it was newspaper. So incredibly cheap. We wrote out the cards and cut them up and figured out the rules, and it was a blast. And then the video games hit. So I've been playing Pokemon since before it came out. And the new one I'm just not interested in. I understand they could have made better decisions in both the changes that they made to staples of the series, like a national dex, and how they presented those changes. But instead, they lied. And I feel that honesty goes a long way in how much I want to support a company. So no, I'm not playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I don't have any plans to. We'll see what they do with the impending Pokemon Rapier and Buckler. I will be really pleased if that's the name. Or maybe Pokemon Lance. That would be great. And then bring Lance back as a legacy boss. It's too corny. Don't do it, Game Freak. What else? Yeah. Halo. I'm enjoying Halo. If anyone wants to play some Halo, we can totally find a night and just do like a channel custom game night that, because it's a channel custom game night and I'm in charge, will just inevitably become 8v8 capture the flag on Blood Gulch. And if you don't want to do that, I don't want you on my channel. So that's it. Then the channel news is that I'm stressed out of my mind. Things will return to normal eventually. Right now, I am playing Halo because it relaxes me, and it's what I need. The guide will continue. I'm currently not treating my channel as a business obligation, which I've done in the past, because I don't have time for another business obligation. I will get back to working on it as one, because I would like it to be a reliable source of income in my future. That future is not right now because it's not paying the bills right now. Other things are, and I gotta work on me. So the streams will continue. The content might be a little weird at times, like this. In fact, you might be getting more Quester's Rest videos where a slightly crazed Saigan talks at you. Dadvice. I still want to do gamer Dadvice. Record one of those right now. I might not. We'll see. Anyhow, Thanks for sticking around, guys. I really appreciate it. Y'all are great. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep trucking. Right, Kona? Keep on trucking? Right. Right, Dad. Keep on trucking. Like my pa used to say.